don't go through life. Grow through life. We don't walk away to teach people a lesson. We walk away because we finally learned ours. Stop being considerate in situations where you aren't even considered. There are two ways to do things, right and again. If you are driven by fear, anger, or pride, nature will force you to compete. If you are guided by courage, awareness, tranquility, and peace, nature will serve you. If you have to keep asking yourself if something is worth it, then maybe it's not. A person must be old enough to recognize their mistakes, smart enough to benefit from them, and strong enough to correct them. Teach your heart to accept disappointments, even from people you love. Once you mature, you'll realize that silence is more powerful than proving a point. Someday isn't even a real day, although for some people, it's every day. A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything. Once a problem is solved, its simplicity is amazing. You can't really control someone's loyalty towards you. You can do so much for someone and still not be treated well. Believe half of what you see, and don't believe anything you hear. Learn to be content and happy by yourself. If you need a company to be happy, then it will make you weak. Don't let emotions affect your life, no matter if those emotions are your own or someone else's. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. If you want to know who controls you, look who you are not allowed to criticize. The start is what stops most people. Don't change yourself just to make someone happy, unless that someone is you. Stop expecting others to give you more respect than the respect you give yourself. Whatever is causing you worry or pain right now won't cause you worry or pain forever. Things change with time, and it will pass. Don't borrow anything you can't afford to replace. Actions prove who someone is. Words just prove who they pretend to be. You can't change other people, and it's rude to try. Chasing a person doesn't give you value or build value in you. You earn your value by chasing morality and practicing dignity. If you blame it on someone else, don't expect it to get better. Forgiving doesn't make the person who hurt you feel better. It makes you feel better. Sometimes the right path is not the easiest one. Knowledge is not free. You have to pay attention. Only the disciplined ones in life are free. If you are undisciplined, you are a slave to your moods and your passions. Lessons in life will be repeated until they are learned. Just because the boat rocks doesn't mean it's time to jump overboard. Say no more than you wish to have said. Do no less than what you wish to have done. Sometimes which choice you make is not as important as making a choice and committing to it. Don't let the noise of other people's opinions drown your inner voice. Thinking is difficult. That's why most people judge. Live in reality as it is, not as you wish it was. Don't do anything you feel you'd have to lie about later. You don't really know the person you're with until you move in together. Never marry anyone without living with them first. Every person alive hits a crossroads in life when you have to let go of the past and forge ahead into something new. The only sad thing would be clinging to the past once it's out of reach. A broken heart is just the growing pains necessary so that you can love more completely when the real thing comes along. When you make a commitment, you build hope. When you keep it, you build trust. People treating you poorly is a reflection on them, not you. Do not listen with the intent to reply, but with the intent to understand. Be the person you needed when you were younger. The answer is always no until you ask. Don't make decisions when you're angry. Don't make promises when you're happy. Today is the tomorrow you talked about yesterday. No matter how good a person you are, you will always be bad in someone's story. You don't ever truly know another person unless you can take up residence in their head. You'll never be privy to their true nature. If you need more than one hand to count your best friends, you're not a great best friend. No one ever got tired of loving. They get tired of waiting, hearing lies, assuming, saying sorry, and hurting. Some talk to you in their free time, and some free their time to talk to you. Learn the difference. If you don't overcome your tendency to give up easily, your life will lead to nothing. Privacy is power. What people don't know, they can't ruin. Don't spend your life dreaming about what could have been in another place or under different circumstances. Instead, invest your energy in what is right in front of you. The world owes you nothing. It's too big and has too much going on to care about you. Not everyone is going to understand your journey. Not everyone is going to believe in what you believe in. You are on your own path, so never change who you are. Sometimes the strongest among us are the ones who smile through silent pain, cry behind closed doors, and fight battles nobody knows about. Maybe your path is harder because your calling is higher. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Forget about the people in your past. They didn't make it to your future for a reason. If you look at the people in your circle and don't get inspired, you don't have a circle. You have a cage. You cannot heal in the same environment where you got sick. Be careful who you build with, because people will use you for the foundation and finish the structure with somebody else. Don't stick with bad friends just because you've known them for a long time. Never give up. You don't know how close you may already be. You can't get much done in life if you only work on the days when you feel good. Being honest may not get you a lot of friends, but it'll always get you the right ones. Your future depends on your focus. More important than the ability to pick the right one is the strength to walk away from the wrong one. The longer you entertain what's not for you, the longer you postpone what is. Say no to your desire to be perfect, otherwise, you won't be able to improve further. Drive carefully on this road called life, because people will switch lanes on you without a signal. You should never sacrifice what you could be for what you are. You learn a lot about people when they don't get what they want from you. Stop being so available to people who are only there for you when it's convenient for them. Choose your habits carefully. They decide your future. Never apologize for who you are or how you feel. It's like saying sorry for being real. You only get one body. Take care of it. You'll have it all your life, and while it is incredibly resilient, it can only give you what you put in. To change your life, you need to change your priorities. If you wouldn't like it done to you, don't do it to others. Time decides who you meet in life. Your heart decides who you want in your life. And your behavior decides who stays in your life. You are the product of what you do every day. Forget trying to change people. Either change yourself or change your environment, or both. One of the biggest mistakes we make is assuming that other people think the way we think. You can waste your lives drawing lines, or you can live your life crossing them. Your wound is not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. You'll ruin your life trying to make everyone happy. Learn to be content and happy by yourself. If you need a company to be happy, then it will make you weak. Just because you miss someone doesn't mean you need them back in your life. Missing is a part of getting over. The chief trick to making good mistakes is not to hide them, especially not from yourself. Growth is often a painful process. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Being true to yourself may lead to loneliness, but it's worth it. Hiding from your problems won't make them disappear. Facing them is the only way to grow. Never give someone the opportunity to waste your time twice. There's only one thing more precious than our time, and that's who we spend it on. Do not cling to any one person, not even your most beloved. Every person is a prison and also a hiding place. Worry about your character, not your reputation. Your character is who you are. Your reputation is who people think you are. Be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. You can't be happy with someone else if you aren't happy with yourself. Don't be afraid to do things by yourself. Waiting for other people will cause you to miss out on some wonderful things in life. The people who ask the most from you are the people who do the least for you. Be smart enough to ask for advice, but be wise enough to know who to seek it from. You don't realize the true value of a moment until it becomes a memory. On a day when you don't come across any problems, you can be sure that you are traveling in the wrong path. The second you feel like you're hanging on by a thread, let go. You shouldn't be holding on to something that makes you feel that way in the first place. You can't make someone love you by giving them more of what they already don't appreciate. Don't make one person the center of all your happiness. Don't make them the reason why you are happy, because once that person walks away from your life, you're left with nothing. You cannot be everywhere and have everything. Learn to make the right choices and commit to things that matter most. Close some doors today, not because of pride, incapacity, or arrogance, but simply because they lead you nowhere. The greatest thing you can give yourself is freedom from what others think. You were born with 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them in that proportion. Action breeds more clarity than thought. So you can't think your way into a new life. You have to act your way into one. If you're not resilient by now, life is only going to get tougher for you. Never judge someone without knowing the whole story. You may think you understand, but you don't. Stop explaining yourself and telling people everything. You owe no one any explanation of what you do. Changes happen when we go against everything we're used to doing. Real growth is when you start checking and correcting yourself. Instead of blaming others, you take your power back by being responsible for your life. Going back to your ex is like having a shower and putting dirty underwear back on. Before a new chapter is begun, the old one has to be finished. Tell yourself that what has passed will never come back. Nothing is irreplaceable. A habit is not a need. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And what they have planned for you is not much. Chasing happiness will lead you to misery until you realize that happiness is the way. The more seriously you take yourself, the unhappier you're going to be. Never hate jealous people. They are jealous because they think you are better than them. Never complain of that of which it is at all times in your power to rid yourself. You give power to someone you blame for your problems. Later often means never. Never try to gain somebody's sympathy. The people who care about you will be there for you when you need them. You don't need to show them that you are their best friend. Forgiving people in silence and never speaking to them again is a form of self-care. Don't make permanent decisions on temporary emotions. Stay away from narcissists. They don't play by any rules. They will suck the life out of you slowly. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Always work with it, not against it. Make it your friend and ally, not your enemy. This will miraculously transform your whole life. You can't make people love you the way you love them. The only time you should ever look back is to see how far you've come. You must discipline yourself carefully. You must keep the promises you make to yourself and reward yourself so that you can trust and motivate yourself. When you build in silence, no one knows where to attack. Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. Clocks show time, and time shows people. Recognizing that you are not where you want to be is a starting point to begin changing your life. Unless you try to do something beyond what you have already mastered, you will never grow. Let others' actions speak for them. People will show you far more then they will tell you. Your life becomes meaningful in precise proportion to the depths of the responsibility you are willing to shoulder. If you never heal from what hurt you, you'll bleed on people who didn't cut you. No matter what good you do to people, they will only remember your mistakes. Don't hold your breath on people doing the right or ethical thing. People make decisions based on self-interests, not on what is right. Don't quit. Sometimes the things you are hoping for come at unexpected times. You can't change someone who doesn't see a problem with their actions. Failure shows us the way by showing us what isn't the way. Stop overestimating others and underestimating yourself. You must let the pain visit. You must allow it to teach you. You must not allow it to overstay. Never overlook contempt. When someone views you with contempt and talks to you like you're beneath them, they will likely do you harm, whether relationally, socially, or physically. Remove that person from your life. Most of the time, you have to swallow the pain and learn to grow up by yourself. Commitment is what gets you started. Consistency is what gets you somewhere. And persistence is what keeps you going. Sacrifice today for tomorrow's betterment. You are willing to pay those payments with pain because pain is just a message when you are fixing something that's insufficient in your life. You have to take chances sometimes, and although it can be scary and outside your comfort zone, you'll never know what could have been unless you go for it. Sometimes you have to suffer in life, not because you are a bad person, but because you didn't realize when to stop being good to the wrong person. You learn nothing from life if you think you're right all the time. The question isn't who is going to let you, it's who is going to stop you. You will never see the great things ahead of you if you keep looking at the bad things behind you. Stop asking why they kept doing it and start asking why you keep allowing it. Be careful who you trust. Salt and sugar look the same. Don't blame a clown for acting like a clown. Ask yourself why you keep going to the circus. Don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. The fastest way to gain self-confidence is to do exactly what you are afraid of. Never keep people in your life if they don't love and respect you as much as you do them. Boundaries won't make you lose friends and relationships. They'll make you lose pretenders and manipulators. Your past is your opportunity to learn the lessons you need to deal with your present life. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of solving them. You are free to choose, but you are not free from the consequences of your choice. People who avoid failure also avoid success. Change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. If someone tells you that you can't, they're showing you their limits, not yours. Two things to remember in life. Take care of your thoughts when you are alone, and take care of your words when you are with people. A man without a vision for his future always returns to his past. You need to stop doing things for someone when you find out it's expected rather than appreciated. If you expect the world to be fair with you because you are fair, that's like expecting the lion not to eat you because you didn't eat him. Don't raise your voice. Improve your argument. Change is inevitable. Progression is a choice. Don't hang on to your mistakes just because you spent a lot of time making them. Leave when a promise turns into a sorry. Your best teacher is your last mistake. You'll never be criticized by someone who is doing more than you. You'll always be criticized by someone doing less. A mistake repeated more than once is a decision. Sometimes you can make all the right choices and then have to sit there and watch them all crumble around you. You just have to pick up the pieces and keep moving. Be alone sometimes. It is important for your mind and well-being. Anger is the punishment we give ourselves for someone else's mistake. Mistakes do not attest to your character. Your reaction to them does that without you even trying. Ability can take you to the top, but it takes character to keep you there. Trust is built over the life of a relationship, but can be lost in an instant if you're not careful. If you don't fight for what you want, don't cry for what you lost. Set a goal so big that you can't achieve it until you grow into the person you can. Be aware of people who are in your circle, but not in your corner. Life gives you lots of chances to screw up, which means you have just as many chances to get it right. The reason you want to be better than someone else is the reason why you aren't. Your progress does not need to be seen or validated by others to be real.